during that your sort of hiatus as a recording artist, were there people that you would have written for that we might have known?
So yeah, I still do. I just
during that 2014 to about 2019.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the music it's not out yet.
Okay.
I've written for Keep Sweat. I've written for Missy. Missy even I believe there's an artist that was featured in one of her videos. I've written music for her. I've written music for Teddy Riley. I've written music for I've written music for people. The music just isn't out yet.
Okay.
So whether these people are working on their albums or getting ready to release, I've written music with a lot of amazing producers, Battlecat, Jellyroll, Needlz. I've written music for these people, so we'll see what happens. I think there was also timing in that, because I was thinking like, oh, I'll just write music and be behind the scenes, but no, if one of those songs would have blew up, it would have dragged me in before I was ready.
Yeah.
Well, I think that, and like I said, having these communications with these non-physical beings, whether people want to call them ancestors or angels, they're very angelic to me and with me, and so I do think that they have a hand in, like, just overseeing some stuff, and when it has to do with timing and things like that. So yeah.
Okay, now I think there are two questions before we wrap up. One of them was you going back to 15 and you wanted to revolutionize the industry, that you were studying about contracts and about publishing and deals and all that stuff. So during your sort of hiatus from being in front of the screen, how were you navigating that side? How were you navigating setting up your publishing, making sure that you were signed to your own label if that was the case, and not being taken advantage of? What were you doing?
So that part was partially school. It was partially asking a lot of questions to the right people. I got involved with a guy named Derek, and he taught me how to set up my sound exchange and my PROs and everything like that. I was really honestly learning as I went. I got everything you need to know about the music business, the book.
I know that book, yeah.
That's a popular book. I started to just watch a lot of tutorials about the music industry and how to set yourself up properly to be a business owner and to be an independent artist and earn a living. So I did a lot of research during that time as well to like get that stuff together.
So as it is, you've set your own publishing, you've set your own, so you're signed to yourself, and stuff. Now, and I guess in this time of Black owned and everyone's saying that, so it's almost as if, are you in a position where, okay, you've got your package, you since you created it on your own, so you own your masters, are you tempted to go look for a major label to say, here I am, push me out because one of my tracks are going to blow up? Or what's it looking like?
No, I'm not tempted to go look, but I have been presented to labels, and I'm probably being presented right now as we speak. But I'm looking to do more of a partnership, if anything, because I would literally need the reason, like everything that a label would do. I've been able to do that independently on my own. I've been able to get high-end, high-quality producers. I record myself, I mix myself, I master myself. I write my own music. I can hire PR teams and marketing teams on my own. So if there were to be a label situation, it would have to be unique, and it would have to be probably more of a partnership. So I'm not looking for them. I'm sure they're gonna maybe potentially come looking for me at some point. I'm looking for them to look for me.
Okay.
If that is in the cards, if that is in the destiny. And I'm not the type of person where, oh, I'm independent, I'm not gonna blah, blah, blah. Like, it's nothing like that, you know. It just has to be right.
Yeah.
You know, it just has to be right. And if it's right, I have no problem with partnering and you know, bringing some amazing stuff to the world.
Now, I think as we wrap up, I mean, you mentioned, and I noticed Brian Morgan and Teddy all calling your names and stuff, and I guess the interesting thing is how that has developed, where you've now been, you know, Teddy Riley says, compared you to Tammy Lucas. Now, if you ask anyone who knows New Jack Swing, she sang on Goodbye Love. I mean, that's how far back, 88.
Yes.
So she's done Is It Good For You? She did the Blackstreet album, Tonight's the Night. So she's been with him, you know, high five struck. She's been in the background of her writing and stuff. So yeah. He says, I'm comparing you to Tammy Lucas. And so that's sacrilege to New Jack fans. But it's almost like, wow, what did you bring to the table that he could just see, wow, be amazed? Because I know he's a music creator and he depends heavily on writers, but he saw something in you that he could evoke Tammy's name.
Yeah, I think he's seen himself in me. I think he's seen the love for music, you know, the passion and the desire and the purpose. You know, we have purpose in music. And like I said, Teddy Riley produced Remember the Time. So I found out at his house.
Oh, you didn't know?
I found out at his house that the video was released on my birthday.
Okay.
I didn't know.
Okay.
But I knew that he produced some of the, because you have to understand, when I was coming up, even from afar, he doesn't even know this, but even from the Winans, there was moments in my life to where I would hear a Teddy Riley production and it would literally remind me why I was on the planet to get to that. So Teddy's sound, New Jack Swing, raised me as a creator. My choices and the things that I make sure that I incorporate came from Blackstreet, came from Guy, came from all of these different things that Teddy had his hands in. So he literally raised me. So I think when I play music, he hears someone that his music has raised, and it attracts him because he's listening to himself and he's listening to an interpretation that he confirms that he's okay with, that is like, this is impressive. You know, so I think, and it's also inventive. We're not completely copying, but we're doing our interpretation of what New Jack Swing and what the magic of Teddy Riley sounds like now. So I think that is what attracts him to me and my husband.
So I mean, Privacy, it came out. Did it come out last year?
Privacy came out this year, 2020.
Okay, it came out this year. So, what was the meaning behind not the actual video and the song, but I'm just thinking, were you just thinking, I'm ready now to come out, so this is gonna be my first track, or what happened?
You know what I'm saying? That's a good question. So I had took my hiatus, and in the midst of that, you know, I'm getting to know different producers, and so when you're a songwriter, you write the song for the artist, right? Okay. And the artist cuts the record and you hear it back and, you know, whatever. I was getting records back and I was like, this is not it. and it was like, I think I have to sing it myself. And I was like, okay, I'm here now, I'm mature, I'm ready, I know what I want, I know how I want it to do. And so something was just like, release Privacy, because I wrote Privacy for Tiana Taylor, and I was supposed to go to her house and present it to her, because I don't really like to send records out to the artists anymore. I like to be there and press play, them to get to know me introduce myself. And so I was actually in Vegas with Teddy, so I couldn't make it to the meeting, so I missed the meeting. and I just had the song, but I wrote it for that. So I was just kind of like, I want to release it and just see what happens. And from that, as soon as I released it, I know as soon as I come out with something, I'm like a magnet, and I just attract all of these different things. And so, you know, I released it and it got on the radio, and from there it's probably on like 25 syndicated stations. I got different offers to do different things, and but because of COVID, it kind of put like a little space in between being able to perform and everything like that. But it definitely got attention. People got to see what I'm able to do on my own with no budget, no label, no anything, you know. So I think that attracted people, like, oh, okay, I think she's the real deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
So with the Brian, it could attract I follow, I'm setting up to do an interview with him in a month or two, and so when he was playing his new one by Nefertiti, and I was thinking, okay, that was you singing on a track that he was producing for you, or what was that?
Yeah, I'm so glad that I met Brian. I'm so glad that I ran into Brian, and because of the things that I was doing, I had released a song, and you know, little things on the internet of these producers speaking on my behalf, and mentioning to me and putting my name out there. I think I had the weight enough to start introducing myself and presenting myself, telling them what I've done in the past, and them like, okay, well, come on over, let's see what we can do. And the first track me and Brian did was, oh my God, it's so good. And from there, we just kept going. And so now this is his favorite track. Okay. But before, the one we did was his favorite track. So I think it's going to keep going like that. Like, he's such an amazing producer to have produced SWV, one of our favorite groups, one of our favorite R&B groups, you know what I'm saying? And the songs, they just last for the test of time, year after year after year. It's like, that's what I'm creating for. You know, I want this timeless stuff, and who better than to connect with people that's doing timeless stuff than Brian, than Teddy, than Battlecat, then Jellyroll. You know what I'm saying? These people that just have this stuff that just explodes and, you know, stands the test of time.
Yeah, so you're dropping these big names, and I'm thinking, okay, you don't have Universal or Sony push, or Warner Brothers pushing you, and these guys are like, yeah, we, you know, singing your praises and can't wait to work for you. I'm thinking, but so it's either you've got an angel knocking on doors and saying you got to give it a chance and it will blow up and you get your money later. But it's I guess, because you have to understand, so for other singer-songwriters who are thinking, how come I've been working the streets, I've been performing, I've been doing my stuff, but I'm not meeting these big producers who are singing my praises, who are offering to work with me without getting $500,000 in their bank account. What do you think has made it that people like Teddy and Brian and others want to work with you, unless you're giving them big cash checks up front?
Yeah. Well, you know, like I said before, I really think that they're identifying with their own sound. So I've aligned myself with the producers who has raised my ear. So this is where I get my musical ear from and where I get my choices from, you know? And so I think when I send them something that I've done, like, hey, check me out, blah, blah, blah. You know, Teddy really opened up the door for me. Teddy really will get the credit for discovering me. And I think that them hearing the things that they love from music. So I would tell the songwriters out there, or the singers or whatever, you know, align yourself with the music that you really love and find those people that produced those records, you know, and get yourself in alignment with that sound, with that genre of music, because people love to hear themselves and they love to hear what they love out of music through you. And that's why they bring you on, you know? So, yeah.
So, I mean, what should we expect? I mean, we're 3 or 4 months to the end of the year. So are we expecting anything else from you this year or next year? What's the plan?
Oh my gosh, you heard it here first. So I am releasing a mixtape November 17th, 2020. Okay. It's interesting because November 17th has always been like my release date for projects.
Okay.
I picked it out because of the 8. So the 17th, that's an 8.
Okay.
So I just, an 8 represents infinity. So, you know, me being in alignment with the music, wanting it to last, I always make sure that an 8 is in there. So yeah, I'm releasing a mixtape. There are going to be 8 songs, like always. And then I have, like I said, I have music with Brian, I have music with Teddy, I have music with Battlecat that I cannot wait for you guys to hear. I'm just so excited to have all of this amazing stuff just lined up for everybody to hear. So, but yeah, the closest thing that I know of so far will be the mixtape, November 17th, 2020.
So just for those of us who aren't hip hop fans, who understand when you get a mixtape, you're just having different stuff on there. So I would assume we would have thought it would be an EP where you're just having a little small album of stuff. What is the mixtape that you're going to be releasing? What's
So here's the thing. So with these 8 records, they all have samples in them.
Okay.
I thought I wanted it to be like a nostalgic type of feel for some of the songs that we've loved in the past and we would like to hear revamped and revised. So we sampled music in all 8 of the songs, and I would have to go through this whole thing of getting it clear and everything like that to, you know, put it on. So I was like, you know what? Let's just put it out as a mixtape, because you can put it out as a mixtape because you aren't selling it. So, like, so that's why I was like, I can like write, because I know everybody is waiting on stuff, because they're hearing everybody mention me in interviews and things like that. So they're like, who is this chick? Where's she come from? Why is everybody talking about her? Yeah. Like, why is everybody talking about this girl? So I'm going to, because you know, all of they have the music, they know what I do, but the fans, they're just looking like, why is these big people talking about her? Who is this girl? Yeah. So, you know what? I'm gonna put out a mixtape so you guys can kind of have an idea as to why.
So the mixtape, is it? So you're not going around giving out free tapes, or what? Does it mean you're gonna release it on YouTube? How does that work?
So actually, I found an interesting kind of thing. I have my own website, so I'm going to put it on my website. But you know, one thing that's important for me is to restore the mechanical royalty with musicians. That's went away, and we've kind of just took a big hit because music is not physical anymore. We can't give CDs. So I was like, we can't give tapes. So I was like, how can I replace that? I think that's highly important, figuring out how to make music back physical again. I heard today that vinyls are selling more than CDs, of course, because it's cool to have a vinyl.
Yeah.
It's not cool to have a CD player. So, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe we can make tapes back cool again. But what I did was I found these little keychains, and the keychains have like a code on it to where you can take your phone and it'll scan the code for you and it'll take you right to the project. Okay. So I said, I'm not selling the project, but I can sell the keychain.
Okay.
So for me, that's restoring the mechanical royalty, because I can sell the and I'm not selling the music, I'm just selling the keychain. Okay. But the keychain, the link on it so that you can get the music for free. So you're buying the keychain and you're getting the music for free. So that's just something that I came up with. I'm going to keep coming up with different things. Yeah, but I'm really passionate about, you know, getting artists their independence back so that they can have their careers how they want them to be, and they don't necessarily have to depend on somebody else to do things for them. So
yeah, no, that's very creative. But then again, you've got very creative. You've got links to very creative people around you and stuff. But you're right. I think one of the issues I had in the early 90s was how the labels were selling a CD for $15, $20, and they were just ripping people off. And when Napster came out, it says, well, you don't need to buy the stuff, you can just download it for free. And that's when iTunes came in, and then Apple and stuff, but the labels, for them, they lost a lot of money up front, but then they signed all these big deals. So even though the artist isn't getting a lot, the labels are, they've got 100 years worth of revenue streams and your licensing deals. So they're making so much money that it doesn't matter that the artists aren't making stuff. So, and I guess it's important that the artists, you create music. It's almost like if you make a painting, you sell it once, and then somebody else keeps selling it and makes all the money afterwards. And I think it's important to realize that the labels will say, here's $1 million advance, but they know they're going to get 100 million from your life's work, and you'd only get that million. And I think what artists need to learn is, are we in this for the long haul? Do I want to own my stuff and continue to own my stuff and slowly generate the income, or do I want it quickly in my face? And then realize, from Michael Jackson to Prince to even Kanye right now, they've all complained about, even Michael Jackson, who probably generate over $1 billion, realized at the end of the day, these guys, and Prince, the same thing. And so if these are the biggest artists that we've seen complain, people still aren't listening, because it's the quick, fast money, fast fame, and that has really distorted them. Yeah,
and I commend Kanye for what he's. I'm not saying that Kanye is perfect, but I commend Kanye for taking that step and showing his contracts, and then not only that, but creating a blueprint for how he feels that maybe going forward contracts can kind of redesign. And I'm just all for stuff like that. I'm all for people being able to pick how they want their artist careers to go. And so I'm happy to see that, and I'm happy to be a part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I mean,
I'm going to say, see, that's a hard choice, because it would depend on what kind of mood I'm in. Like, do I want to hear something sexy? Do I want to hear something inspiring? Do I want to hear something like, what do I want to hear? Do I want to hear something to rile me up? Like,